Now, here are the remarkable members of KISS. And first of all, Mr. Gene Simmons, who is the bass player, who is the bass player. Mr. Peter Criss, who is the drummer. Mr. Paul Stanley, who is the guitarist. And Ace Frehley, who is the lead guitarist.
I'm not the lead. I'm the trout player.
Now, tell how this started, you know, because Gene came in and he said, I didn't know I played bass. And I said, well, I see Aykroyd on Saturday Night Live with the bass fish, and then you say the trout player.
I have to excuse it. Bass.
Yes,
Bass.
I've been called many
Bass,
things,
not
but not the bass.
Never a bass
I hate
player.
Never a bass player.
What would happen if you went out on stage for a concert and you didn't set off the fireworks and you didn't break up the guitar and you didn't have the smoke and the fire and the blood and all that, and you just came out and did your thing? What would they come to the concert?
It would still be a rip-roaring rock and roll show, because what we do when we go out there is we don't stand still when we play our instruments. We run around and pretty much raise hell. Can we say that on TV?
Yes, you can.
Well, we raise hell.
I have medals from, you know, early
Past
days in
World
high
Wars.
school
Medals.
track, you know, tracked, and I'm sure we're four very athletic young gentlemen.
No, I think
Incredible.
Yeah, this is our thing. You know, going out like this. So if we didn't go out like this, a lot of people would be really disappointed, because KISS is known for the big show. So why shouldn't we go out and do what people expect?
How does what you do now in concert, what we saw on the videotape, and I'm assuming that that's reasonably recent, how does it differ from when KISS first went out on stage? Did you come out with this tremendous energy right from day number one?
The energy was there, the equipment wasn't. We used to go out and we wanted everybody to think we were famous and that we were very big, so we used to have amplifiers that were empty because we couldn't afford speakers.
I remember that.
We'd pile them against the walls, and we'd tell the lighting man, don't put a light on them, because you could see these circles.
Right through them, right?
You could see where the speakers were. The energy was always there. When we used to play little clubs, we started out playing in Amityville, Long Island, and we always said, this is the Garden. You know, every night we played.
Peter said this was the guy. I want some
did.
credit for that.
In fact, I remember opening up for lots of bands that had half the equipment. Oh, I see there's a live human being over there. Half the equipment right here in front of us.
Wait a second. Have you recorded your laugh?
No, we want to, though.
You must
You know,
record.
these guys have been talking about recording my laugh. We've done 15 albums. They've never done it. Maybe on the 16th album they will do it.
I think you recorded it on your solo album. You did.
Absolutely not.
Why
No,
not?
he didn't. Yeah.
Ace has been saving it for a
Saving
KISS.
That wasn't my real laugh. That was just a compilation of. You know.
All right, upcoming and future KISS albums, Ace Frehley's
Let
rap.
me
Right
quote
here.
it.
You were saying something.
I forgot.
Oh, all right, fine.
No, I know what it was. We when we first started out, we had so much equipment that the other bands.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
We had no equipment. We were broke.
Oh, you remember the Marshall lamps and all that?
Oh, the phony Marshall amps were
That's right.
incredible.
Phony Marshall lamps. And we used to open up for these bands that had nothing. All they had were guitars and drums, and we had this 6-foot logo, and this was way back in '74. And people just used to get very, very angry at the fact that we could come out, put on a... We had a levitating drum set.
Wait,
we were still doing
that
a
was
30...
funny. It would go up 6 feet, but there was like guys with ropes
Keeping it from falling over.
pulling me up, you know? And if we didn't get the guys for that night, the drums were going up.
When we first started out, we used to play clubs, and the drums would go up, and Peter would be like this, and the ceiling would be getting lower and lower.
And I used to tell
That
the
is
guys,
true.
don't lift me anymore. They still keep going at it.
No, but actually, sometimes it worked on a chain drive. The first levitating drum set that we had,
Bicycle chain.
and sometimes it would skip.
Gotcha.
Have you ever have a 10-speed bicycle?
Surely.
It would go up like that.
And then drop.
the drop would go up, the hips are going up again, drop like
And
that.
my heart would drop with it.
And we all fell for Peter.
Yeah, well, we played along with it, though, you know. In fact, the first time, that's part of the show. You can never let on.
I'm glad you guys
When we
did.
first started playing, we had to get used to wearing these kind of shoes. And
Yeah, the one line.
Ace is notorious for his bad balance. And maybe the first couple of months that we were on tour, invariably, once a night, you would hear a thud on stage, and you would look, and Ace would be sprawled out.
way
And being
back.
troopers, we would run over and play over
These
it like it
guys
was
were
part of the,
incredible.
it was
If I would fall on
choreographed.
stage, these guys would run over to me and make believe like it was part of the show. They'd stand over me and we'd do like this.
As
You know, I'm
we'd be
looking
dodging.
up and they're looking down. We'd put the guitars together and bounce them off
People would
and turn
love
around.
it. There goes the lead
And
guitarist.
well, that's part of the show.
When you see the audience going crazy, what goes through your minds? Do you have time to think about audience reaction while you're
I
performing?
feel like I'm in a movie. I always
Yeah.
get the feeling that you know, without comparing ourselves to anybody else, it's almost like the mid-60s, like we're in a Beatle kind of movie. And we're not even playing ourselves because, I mean, when you realize that a lot of the people at the show have been waiting 3 or 4 months to come see us, and this is like the big night for them. And when you see all these people screaming and crying and all that, throwing things on.
Crying, why did I spend all that money? I spent all this money.
This is it. He goes up in the air. We're out of here.
True confession time. Right here. Huh? True confession time. Right here. Exclusive on the Tom Snyder program.
That was good. You'll suffer in the dressing room.
Whose idea was Kiss? Who invented Kiss?
We all did.
We all did, yeah.
We've been to, Gene and I were together for about 9 years now.
Not sexually, just
That's the later part of the
keep-
program.
yeah.
I want to slip it past
Yeah,
120, and then
slide that
we'll get into the drugs and and all that stuff.
No, none of that.
Okay.
I don't take drugs.
Mom? No drugs. Go ahead.
No, you were saying 9 years.
Yeah, we've been together about 9 years, and then we broke up a band we were in, and Peter joined us, and then Ace joined us, and the rest is Kiss story.
We always wanted. I always wanted.
Kissmas, it's like everything is
Really?
Kiss. Kissmas, Kiss-tory.
The thing was, we always wanted theatrics and music together. I did by myself.
We're still
and-
hoping for it.
No, and finally I met these two nuts, and they wanted it. And we picked him off the Bowery.
Tom McCann,
And we
398
got him
specials.
on. That was it.
Can I just go around the horn here and start with Gene, and tell me where you're from, and where you went to school?
All right, I've got a question to ask you. My manager's off stage. Is this true confession time or am I on?
No, you're
All
You're
right.
really on.
All right. Then I'm from New York City. I'm from
Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
They're not on. Okay.
I'm from Queens, New York. Actually, not too far away from Paul's house. We kind of used to wave to each other before we knew. That's right. Before we knew each other, I'd see this guy waving back. I'd wave.
Gene was
and
into
then,
telescopes.
telescope.
He loves
Mom?
it. Huh? Ace loves it.
Ace loves
Can I tell
anything.
you something
Oh,
funny?
I get beat up by him.
Before you guys came on, they gave me a little sheet on each one of you to read, where you're from and how you grew up and blah blah blah. And the note said, "Now Ace seems to be the most laid back of the four, and he's the one who'll probably be the hardest to make talk." Now you want to?
Well, this is not Ace.
Oh, this isn't it.
Oh, this is George. This is George.
I'm an imposter. Ace is back in his ass.
That's true.
We got our roadmap.
Who's on first? What's on second? Listen, Tom, about that swampland in New Jersey you were wondering about.
You grew up in New York. You all grew up in different
We're
parts.
all
I
New
grew up
York
in the
guys.
Bronx,
Brooklyn.
Queens, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Man.
I grew up 211th Street and Broadway. I was the only Jew in an Irish neighborhood. And you learn to either run or fight. And then I moved to Queens.
But he
where
used to paint himself green
We were still running the
every once in a while.
and,
That's where the makeup comes in.
I knew Gene and I would be in a band together because he was the only guy in Queens who was wearing whiteface and a ponytail. This guy.
That is true. Boots like this is, it's not your regular 398 Tom McCann special.
That's right. Those are $7.98 at Hardee's.
$7.98.
At Hardee's.
Tell me about your outfits. I mean, did you design your own outfits, all of you? And
Yeah.
tell me what each outfit means. And I'll start with you, Ace.
Well,
That means a
I
cucumber.
think this outfit is self-explanatory. I mean, this is part of a kind of a V shape. This is my utility belt, and we don't want to go any belower than my waist area because that's reserved for concert payers.
I understand that.
But,
and after it's all over, they say, this is what we paid for.
And that's why they always feel short.
I stole this from Flash Gordon, and I have my cape. Yeah.
But you're kind of like a spaceman, huh?
No, actually, I'm a plumber. On the side. No.
Well, listen, I got a little piece of pipe backstage I'd like to have you work on.
Tell me about it. Oh, you love it, but I like that.
You old sweet talker, you. But I'll tell you, I read on the sheet that they gave me where they said that it's hard to get you out of your shell.
It's hard for me to talk. I'm very introverted.
Try to cheer down. That you wanted to go for a ride in the first spaceship or a rocket ship or something like that.
Are you referring to the space shuttle?
The space shuttle that you
Yes,
wanted.
I would prefer to have a ride on the first space shuttle if it's feasibly possible. I was speaking to Pat, and I said, "You got any info?
Secret
See
ambitions.
if you can get me a ticket on that. I'd be very interested in that because I'm into technology."
I think Ace doesn't need anything. I think he can just
He's already
power
in there.
himself up there, His own power.
Ace's limo just right up there. I'm in your band.
Never a dull moment. Let me tell you something about Ace. When we were first starting out, we had a Mylar front to the bass drum, we would play these clubs, and we're still trying to figure out who it is that we are, what it is that we're trying to put across.
And I thought
And Ace, Ace ultimately,
serious as that's
Ace, yeah, look at him. Hi, Mom. Ace ultimately would look into the Mylar and start laughing at himself.
And I thought he liked me. He kept up.
Having a rotten time, right, Tom?
I'm having an awful time.
Take it easy. It'll get better.
We'll hope so. We'll regroup here for a couple of minutes, and we'll continue with Kiss after these words from the NBC television
Don't
stations
believe it.
coast to coast.